far as the presentation of the athletes goes, we will start with cross country. The cross country dream team has been expanded this year by 2, and I've been talking it over with the cross country coaches the past couple of years about trying to get it expanded even further, because cross country is such a great sport in our area. There's so many good runners in our area. It expanded by 2 this year, could expand further in years forward, and I'm sure the coaches will be talking to you about that. Our first coach to come up and talk to us is last year's co-coach of the year. Please welcome to the podium Farmington coach Jordan Stone.
Okay, well, thanks to J-98 again, as always, for having this ceremony for everyone. It's great to get the opportunity to come up here and talk just a little bit about the young man standing to my left, Jake Birch. Jake's the son of Matt and Cindy Sebastian. They do a great job with him. I want to talk just real briefly about how Jake got here. Jake did not run cross country or track in middle school for us. Very few of our kids just start in high school. Most start in middle school. Jake didn't. He came over because he was interested in one of the girls on the team. And when you coach a sport like cross country, you got to get kids by any means necessary. And so that worked for us. And as soon as Jake started running his freshman year, we knew immediately that he was born with the ability to do something that not a lot of people have. By the end of his freshman year, he was the #1 freshman in the state in cross country. And at the end of his freshman track season, had run the mile in 4:39 and the 2 mile in 9:58, which were ranked 2nd in the state in both of those events. And the future looked really bright up until 2 weeks into his sophomore cross country season, when he sustained what I think is probably the most severe stress fracture injury I've ever seen. And I still have the image in my mind when he brought in the MRI printout of the injury, and I looked at it and thought, man, it's going to be a long road back, and much longer than what Jake realized. And he really kind of got hit with a double whammy on that deal, because not only was he basically no running at all really for about 4 to 6 months, and then once he was able to start running, he went through another 9 or 10 months of residual pain from the injury. He had about 15 months that he wasn't really able to do any serious training. And unfortunately, during that stretch of time, something else also happened, as he grew about 6 or 8 inches and gained about 30 or 40 pounds. And so when he was finally healthy enough to train again, his body no longer responded the way it once had. And so he had to endure something that I've seen a lot of high school kids endure, and most of them don't stick it out through it, and that is going through multiple seasons of being dominated by people that he used to beat with ease. And that's pretty tough on the pride when you have to go through that. But Jake told me several times through there, I love to run, and I'm not going anywhere. If I'm never fast again, I'm never fast again, but I'm not going to leave. And so that meant a lot to me. Last year at the end of his junior track season, he still wasn't running very fast, but I was starting to see some things that told me that maybe his body had finally adjusted to the growth spurt. And by the end of the track season, I was convinced that his senior year was going to be successful. And it was. He had a great senior year this year. In our 10 regular season meets, he had 5 first-place finishes and 3 second-place finishes. Had a tremendous year, one of the greatest seasons that a Farmington cross-country runner has ever had. And it was incredibly exciting to me. One of the things that was most rewarding about it was the other coaches and the other kids from other schools. And Christian Hunter from Festus is sitting back there. He's one of those guys, and Coach Wright from Festus, and lots of the other coaches as well, who came up to me this year and said, man, it's great to have Jake back. And there was no bitterness at all. Everybody was so pleased to see him finally being rewarded for some of the perseverance that he had shown through some really challenging times. And so it was incredibly exciting for me as his coach to see him get some success. He does intend to run in college next year. I don't think at this point we're prepared to say where that's going to be, but I know there are some opportunities there, and that's going to be exciting. Whoever gets him is going to be get a real gem, because there's a lot of improvement left, and I'm really excited to see where he goes as a runner from here, as well as the kind of track season that he's going to have this coming spring. So congrats to Jake and to the rest of the Dream Teamers. Thank you very much.
Our next presenter was also the other co-coach of the year from last year, and he's won that award every year since we started the Cross Country Dream Team. Please welcome Coach Bryant Wright from Festus.
Christian Hunter, what a story. A member of 2 Class 3 state championship teams and 2 second-place teams. He's also all-conference, all-district, and he's a 2-time all-stater. He won 3 races this year, a true success story, a kid that as a freshman he wasn't sure he wanted to come out and run. He came out and ran. He was a part of a 2009 state cross-country championship team. The next day he was so excited he went out and ran 12 miles. Christian, some other things about Christian is he realized that, you know, by hard work and, you know, winning is a lot of fun, and hard work can help get you there. Now, he also, there was a day in the summer a couple years ago that he was out running, and it was about 3 in the afternoon, and it was a really hot day, not using his brain, and was out running. And so he got to the point where he was kind of walking, and a parent stopped and picked him up and said, "Christian, what were you thinking? Why were you out there running?" And he said, "Well, how am I going to beat Shane Brown, who was an all-stater next year, if I'm not out here running?" So that's Christian Hunter. We've run a lot of miles together, Christian and I have. I usually run with him. And one time we were on a run and I tripped over the sidewalk. It happened to be a cracked sidewalk, and I fell down and got back up and was running. We got back to the weight room, and somebody said, "Hey, Coach, what happened? You got a footprint on the back of your shirt." And I said, "I do." And they go, "Yeah." And I looked at it, and sure enough, it was Christian Hunter's footprint. I like to think that was an accident, but I don't know for sure if it was. Also, I learned that when you're running, they have these PVC pipes that are sticking up off the ground, and they say, "Warning, gaslight." Well, there's also another warning. The warning is that there's a pipe there. And I found that out because we were running along one day, and all of a sudden I hear a loud noise, and I look over, and there's Christian right on his face. He had ran right into that thing and right over and popped it over. So there's more than one reason why those are there. This I know about Christian. As goofy as he is and as goofy as he has been, this coach here will miss him. Christian is the son of Debbie Hunter, and it's my pleasure to introduce Christian Hunter.
Next up was to be a Herculaneum coach, Kyle Davis, girls cross country coach. Could not make it today, but Jim Caston, the girls assistant, will be here to speak on behalf of Caitlin Fisher. But Herculaneum, just to let you know, and I'm sure Coach will tell you all about it, they've won 7 girls state titles and 5 boys titles over the past 13 years. That's the kind of pedigree Coach Caston's going to be talking about right now. Please welcome Jim Caston to the podium.
Well, first of all, let me thank Glenn and the radio station for doing this for the kids. It's a great thing, and I certainly relish any time I get to speak about any of my runners. I've been doing this for a lot of years, since 1971. So I've been coaching going on 42 years, and in that time, I've coached many great kids, talented athletes, competitive, smart, goal-driven. And any positive adjective you want to put on an athlete, I've had them. But I've never had an athlete like Caitlin Fisher. She embodies every single positive thing you can think of when you talk about an athlete, when you talk about a young person. And I know there's many fine young people behind me, and as a person getting ready to go into retirement, I certainly feel secure in the fact that we have young people like Caitlin and these other ones behind us that are going to be taking over the world. Caitlin didn't run junior high cross country. She was a cheerleader, and which, we almost didn't get her to run. But one day, after 8th grade basketball was over and her cheerleading was over, she came out and was running with our kids that run all winter long. And I saw her, they take off, and she takes off with the ones that have been running all winter. And when they get back, she's in front of all the ones that have been running all winter. I didn't know who she was. I asked Coach Thomas, our junior high coach, who is that? He said, that's Caitlin Fisher. She sprinted as a track athlete as a 7th grader. Well, immediately we knew we had something special. And from that point on, we made Caitlin a distance runner, and we talked her into leaving cheerleading behind. It wasn't an easy discussion. She actually did dual participation her freshman year. She cheerleaded and ran cross country, and on the days that she had to go to cheerleading practice or had a game, she got up and met me at school at 6 o'clock in the morning and ran on her own. And through the winter, then when the cheerleaders decided to practice every day after school, she met me every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, as a freshman high school girl, and ran. She ended that her freshman cross-country season, she was 2nd in the state. And so she was well on her way to a great career. As a freshman on the track, she won the 3A mile, or 1,600 meter in 5:05.84, which may be one, if not the fastest time by a freshman girl ever in the state of Missouri. It's one of the fastest times, which I think might get broken this year, but anyway. She also won the 2 miles. She ran 11:08.56 and was a state champion. Since then, she's been 3rd at the state cross-country meet, 2nd again, won the mile and the 2 mile, both her sophomore and junior year at state, many-time conference champion, many-time district champion, and this year her big dream was to win the state cross-country meet, which she did, and she set a Class 2 state record running 18:40, breaking the old record by 21 seconds. Most places where she's ran, she holds the record. At the Jim Marshall meet in Jeff City, she holds the 5K record there of 19:35. She broke the Forest Park record this year, but was beaten by 2 other girls that ran even faster. She has the Class 1-2 Hancock record of 18:27. She has the Cape Notre Dame record, beating Alyssa Allison's old record. She ran 18:12, ran 18:11 at Farmington, holds a Farmington record and the course record. That's also the conference record. She's the district record holder and the Jackson course record holder of 18:17. And like I said before, she ran 18:40 and was a state champion, setting that state record. It's bittersweet for me because I know this cross-country season's over for me and her, and we just have one more season to go, and I'm looking so forward to it. And when you get to be 64 years old, you shouldn't wish your life away. But I can't wait for that first meet in track season, for that next district meet and sectional meet and state meet, so that I can watch her do what she does. And that's to compete and to run her heart out. She is committed to the University of Missouri, and they have got a gem when they get Caitlin Fisher to come up there. I'm so excited for what future brings for her. She is the daughter of Mike and Judy Fisher. She is number 5 in her class. She actually is also the homecoming queen. So she's just well-rounded young lady that I'm so pleased to be able to be here to speak on her behalf. Great things are in the future for Caitlin Fisher. Thank you.
When I first came to the radio station about 3 years ago, I was told there was a guy in Potosi who is a track and cross-country guru, and didn't really think much of it at the time. But now, being the MC of the Dream Team ceremony the past 3 years and seeing how many Dream Team athletes he keeps providing, I'm starting to see exactly why they call him that now. Potosi coach Steve Davis.
Well, thank you for those kind words. I'd like to thank the radio station also for honoring these student athletes and all their accomplishments. Congratulations to each one of them. This young lady that I'm going to introduce is Sarah Jacobson. She's a senior at Potosi High School. She is the daughter of Mike and Joni Jacobson. And like Coach Casson, you know, getting attached and being around somebody for quite a long time. I did have the privilege of coaching her, being around her a lot through even the 6th grade running club, but all the way from 7th grade through 12th grade that she's been involved in the running program at Potosi. And been very successful, obviously. She is a 3-time All-Stater in cross country and lost her chance last year to be a 4-time All-Stater due to an injury. So much like you heard Coach Stone talk about, injuries for runners are very frustrating and sometimes hard to bounce back from. But she had a leg injury. It was kind of hard to figure out, and it wasn't a stress fracture, but it kept her out of the entire junior year of cross country. And so last year when she rebounded and made All-State and placed second in the state track meet last year as a junior, we had big plans, and she stayed injury-free through her summertime this past year and made All-State. She placed second in the Class 3 race. Sub-19 was her goal, and she ran 18:44, still one of the top 25 fastest times in the history of girls cross-country on that course. It's a very tough course in Jeff City. So she has accomplished a lot, and she's going to be joining Caitlin Fisher at the University of Missouri to run cross-country and track next fall. So we're excited about that and plan on keeping tabs on her. And she's got a very bright future, and you know, she's a very, very classic example of what hard work and clean living will do for you. So I think she's just going to be very, very successful in what she does, and very proud of her, as I know her parents and her family are too. So this is Miss Sarah Jacobson.
Our next presenter led his girls team to a state title this past season. The boys team would finish 6th place this year, and he's also got 2 Dream Teamers, one in each of those. Please welcome Brian Jett from St. Genevieve.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the radio station for this honor as well. It's a great program that they have for these fine athlete and students. It's my honor to introduce Mr. Andrew Moore. I'll be talking about him first as my 2012 Dream Team recipient. Andy's the son of Mr. Steve and Sandy Moore. And Andy had quite a junior season. For young men in our sport, breaking the 17-minute barrier for a 5,000-meter race on a challenging course is often the gold standard. Andy was able to accomplish this in every race this season, including such courses as Sioux Passage, which has a hill infamously known as the Man Maker, and the Borgia Meet, as well as the state course. This is quite an accomplishment considering he only broke that 17-minute barrier one time last season, where he ran 16:57 on a rather flat course. During his sophomore season, Andy earned all conference and all district honors, and he raced at the state meet where he, and I'm quoting him, laid an egg and placed 52nd, running in 18:09. This past summer, Andy went to work on his junior campaign. He ran countless miles with his teammates and volunteer coach, Mr. John Boyd. His hard work and dedication paid off. This season, Andy placed in the top 10 in every meet he raced, including the Tufts Forest Park Cross Country Festival. He won the Potosi Invitational, he won the Borgia Invitational, he won the MAAA Conference meet, he won the Class 3 District 1 meet, and Andy's season culminated by placing second at the Class 3 state meet. Mr. Andrew Moore's strengths are not just running. He's a great student and ranks 19th in his class with a GPA of 10.57. He's a young man of strong character, discipline, and dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andrew Moore. This season I've been blessed with two great runners to announce. The next one I'd like to introduce is Miss Taylor Werner. She's my female selection on the 2012 Dream Team. She's the daughter of Mr. Chris and Becky Werner. Taylor's short running career has been filled with many accomplishments. She made her first impact on the running scene at the Festival of Miles put on by Big River Running after her 8th grade season, where she ran a 5-minute mile and placed second. After a summer of training for her freshman season, she would not be disappointed. Her next big challenge was the Forest Park Cross Country Festival, where she astounded everyone by winning with a time of 16:59. Remember, the gold standard for boys is breaking that 17-minute barrier. This put young Taylor on the national radar. She remained undefeated during the regular season and set a new Class 3 course record at the state meet while leading her team to a state championship. She went on and raced in both the Nike and Foot Locker regional qualifiers. Taylor is the first freshman in the nation to qualify for both Nike and Foot Locker national championships. Furthermore, she's the only Missouri runner of any age to ever qualify for both. She placed 13th at the Foot Locker National Meet and earned All-American honors. She was named Runner of the Year by both Mo Mile Split and the Missouri Cross Country News. Miss Werner is not just an exceptional runner, she's an exceptional young lady. She was the president of the National Junior Honor Society. She's a member of the Student Council. She's a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and has done community service for several worthy causes. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Taylor Werner.
It's now time to present our cross-country runner of the year and cross-country coach of the year. Now, we used to do a runner of the year for boys and girls cross-country. Since then, we've switched and just kind of been one runner of the year, whether it be a girl or a boy. We let the coaches vote on that. I promise we didn't do that just to save money on plaques. But we will have one cross-country of the runner this year, and I will tell you it's a she this year. It was the 2012 Class 3 state champion. She's nationally ranked and unbeaten in cross country, Taylor Werner of St. Genevieve. Let's let her get her picture taken with her plaque, and then we'll announce our cross country coach of the year. Our cross-country coach of the year, it's going to break a streak of 5 straight won by Bryant Wright. Sorry, Coach Wright, it won't be you this year. Our coach of the year was Taylor's coach, Brian Jett from St. Genevieve.
Thank you. Well, quite an honor. This wouldn't be possible without a great support staff, great assistant coach, Chris Werner, Taylor's daughter, or father, a great volunteer coach, Mr. John Boyd, and some athletes that buy into my program and work very hard. I'd like to accept this on their behalf. Thank you.
One more big round of applause for the cross-country Dream Team 2012.